In case you missed it, the news wrote today, Melly will get a new bond hearing for his retrial on July 9th, according to the latest filing, meaning Melly has one last chance of receiving a bond. With Melly having the best chance of being released, his mother, Jamie King, shared the details.
We just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
However, the prosecutors then did something disturbing. The news wrote, a no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortlen completely separate. No talking, no lawyer talk, just silence, as the prosecutors are forcing Bortlen to snitch by trying Melly and him together next trial.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious crime, he won't physically be able to sit there and take life in prison to the chin, making it likely he will point the finger against Melly and snitch on him. But they're even making his ex-girlfriend snitch against him because she was hiding outside of the United States since Melly's original trial. She was supposed to testify against him but never showed up, making her wanted by police.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Because the judge made a deal with Mariah for her release, with the terms of the deal being that she shows up to testify in Melly's new trial. As she wrote to Facebook shortly after, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." As they found evidence in Mariah's iCloud account that relates to Melly forcing her to not testify in the first trial, which has Melly being charged with a witness tampering, which can land him behind bars for life, regardless if Melly took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As the witness tampering is separate from the case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing, with Melly allegedly witness tampering on the jail phones, he hasn't been allowed to use them for a year now. As his mother shares, she doesn't think it's fair.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly's used jail phones to commit witness tampering, then that's why they haven't allowed him to. However, it's what Bortlen will do to Melly that will sentence him to life in prison, as the prosecutors are trying to get Bortlen to pin the crime against Melly, which is what Melly tried to do to Bortlen in the first trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As they revealed it's Bortlen who lied to the feds. He's the one who had firearm residue on his hands, and he's the last one seen with Sack Chaser and Juvie. They even brought an investigator to speak about the firearm residue on Bortlen's hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of shot residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of shot residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was shot residue present on the hands.
Bortlen hated this, which is why when Melly's case ended in a mistrial, he tweeted out, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji, as if he's accepting a deal. However, Melly's lawyers are aware of this, so they build their best bond package to give to the judge. As news sources reported, Melly's legal team proposed posting an unspecified bond that would be paid by his record label, $300 Entertainment. If granted bond, they assured the judge that Melly would be on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire round-the-clock security to keep tabs on him. It was so good that a rapper wrote, "That boy Melly coming home, I feel it," as they have evidence proving Melly isn't being treated like a human inside of jail, which is illegal.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They even brought up GPS evidence that puts Melly away from the crime scene as he ran down the street and hid in a bush.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, he's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
And to back up the claims of a drive-by even more, they spoke about how a firearm was never even found, as they claimed the drive-by vehicle would have drove off with it.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
However, this is where it gets scary, because if Bortlen is sitting alongside Melly in the trial, then they can use Bortlen's interrogations from the night of the crime, where he's lying to police to cover up for Melly.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway. Yeah.
Then you took 75 south?
As it's clear to officers that Bortlen's story isn't the truth. Bortlen tried to stay confident in his story, but would get caught in a lie.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area, and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's like.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like.
These your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an in-service by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, sir. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
But the interrogation went south. Bortlen gets angry since the officers aren't believing his story about the crime.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Okay,
just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. there's going to be a lot more questions. There's, and we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
With Bortlen trying to stop the interrogation, the officer resets the conversation by asking about different things. Like, how was Bortlen driving? Did he crash into anything, and more?
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there, there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
But with time in the interrogation running out, the officer straight up asked, if you know who did this, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
As Bortlen didn't give a firm yes or no. Instead, he shakes his head no, as he's worried about having a voice crack and lying to the police officer, as it'd be an obvious indicator to police that Bortlen's lying. But when you combine it with physical evidence, the truth reveals itself, as Melly sent a text message hours after the crime, admitting to it.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Even a video saved on Melly's phone show him and Bortlen being happy only hours after Sack Chaser and Juvie passed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
But what revealed the motive behind the crime is a former O-Block member sharing that Melly didn't want to share finances with the other YNW members anymore.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, if when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? What the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?